Hi guys, well today we're going to be taking a look at two NAS units from Synology. These are going to be the new models for 2014. So we've got the smaller DS214 and then we've got the larger 414. Now this is actually the first time, believe it or not, that we've looked at anything network related on the channel. But we've been getting Synology products sent to us for a number of years now, reviewing them, and we highly recommend them. You look at the software side of things with these units, the Dsm software, the operating system, it is very extensive. You can pretty much design and set up anything that you want, media stations, surveillance stations, and we're going to go into this as we go into the video a little later. Now the units themselves are very well made. They're styled and designed in such a way to complement the office, to go with other appliances in the network. And the hard drive caddies are designed in such a way to get up and running in next to no time. The DS214 is a professional looking 2-bay NAS which makes use of a 1 GHz dual core processor and 512 of DDR3 memory. Whilst the DS414 is a 4-bay NAS, and again adopting that similar styling but with an upgraded 1.3 GHz dual core processor and double the memory at 1 GB of DDR3. Okay, so we're now going to jump in, do an unbox on both of these units. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any comments or questions, and do feel free to drop them in the box below. Okay, we're going to start then by taking a look at the DS214. So this is the 2-bay NAS. As you can see, packaging is very vibrant, it is eye-catching. And we've got this handle at the top here for transportation. I'm not sure why you would need that because NAS units generally stay in the place that they're at. But nevertheless, on the side here we've got the label which gives you the hardware spec and also the package contents, the installation disc and various other things that are included to make sure you've got those. Over on the other side we've got the DSM features. So we've already mentioned surveillance server, media server. We've also got other features here which come included with that operating system, so we'll take a look at those later. And we've also got at the very bottom here the hint that mobile devices are supported, so you can listen to music, movies and various other things via your mobile, so that's a handy feature. So we'll go inside now. Anyway, this is really what we're here for. So opening this up, you can see now just from the initial unpacking here, you can kind of gauge that Synology really are very thoughtful and careful with their packaging. They go to extra lengths. You know, even the power cable here is packaged in its cover, and also it's got the cardboard. And just taking this out, so that power cable works in conjunction with this power pack here, which you can see has the 3-pin there for the power. So that is actually quite a small unit, so that's good to see. Inside here we've also got a Cat5 cable, so that's the network cable. That's going to give you gigabit connectivity, as obviously we've got a gigabit port on the NAS unit. So that's nice to have that included in case you haven't got one. We've also got the screws for getting your hard drives installed inside the unit. And then inside this little packet here we've got the the software CD. This gives you Synology Assistant, which actually gives you the setup guide, the initial sort of configuration for your NAS unit, so that's really important to use that. It's also got user guides on there, and obviously we've got the documentation for user guide, quick installation guide. And then just getting these out of the way, we've got the last thing and the most important thing, which is our NAS unit. As you can see there, this comes with the cardboard, so that's extra protection. Just moving that out of the way. We've got the NAS unit here. This is a foam sort of packet, gives you a bit more protection. So you can kind of understand that, you know, while this is in transit, it's going to be well protected. Okay, next up we've got the DS414, so this is the larger unit. This is going to take up to 4 hard drives. You can see the packaging is a little bit more simple. It's kind of lackluster in comparison to the DS214. We've still got the same sort of information on there with the hardware spec, the package contents, and the DSM features on the other side there. So we'll go straight in anyway and take a look at what you get inside. So again, we've got the power cable for use with the adapter. That's a kettle lead. So we've got the power adapter here. And also inside there we've got the screws for mounting hard drives inside the unit. And we've actually got two network cables because we have dual gigabit ports on the unit. So that's nice to see that they've included both of those cables in case you want to use those. We've got the documentation as with the DS214. We've got the quick installation guide, and just behind there, get it out and show you, we've got the software CD. So that gives you, again, Synology Assistant, data replicator, and user guides, quick installation guides. So good to see that we've got all those things included. And then inside here we have, so that's the lid there. Again, we've got the unit that has, so it's got the cardboard packaging, and it's also got this foam packet which surrounds it, gives it a bit more of a cushion and protects it from any damage during transit. 214 and 414 both make use of a strong plastic enclosure which has a grainy type of texture. Both sides on each unit have the Synology emblem engraved, and this is actually going to provide additional ventilation for those internal components. Overall, the look and styling of 214 and 414 is great. It's both elegant and professional. Around the back, we're going to start by taking a look at the DS214 to begin with. Here we've got a 90mm cooling fan. Now this is positioned to be an exhaust, so it's going to help to flush out any of that unwanted heat from that PCB and the internal components. Below that we've got a very tiny button which allows you to reset your settings back to the factory defaults. So you're going to need to use that if you get into any trouble. Next to that we've got the dual USB 3 ports, and that allows you your connectivity with other devices. Next to that we've got the gigabit LAN port for network connectivity. Next to that we've got the Kensington lock option, so you can purchase a Kensington lock from places like Amazon, and that allows you your security options, and obviously if you want to keep it nice and secure within the network, home office, then that's a good way to go. Below that, at the very bottom, we've got the port for the power, slightly different from the 414 as it's a little bit smaller. And then at the very bottom there, the last thing, we've got the MAC and serial number specifications label. You're going to need to use that if you need help with support. Now the 414 has two 90mm cooling fans. Obviously it has the accommodation for up to 4 drives, and it has a larger PCB, so those are a requirement. And at the bottom there we've got the dual gigabit LAN ports. We've got a reset button there for the factory defaults again, a Kensington lock option. We've got the dual USB 3 ports, and then we've got the power socket which is a 4-pin. The spec label is there again, and that details the MAC address and the serial number. Okay, we've taken a look at the hardware, and now we're going to jump in and take a look at the software side of things. So I've installed the Dsm operating system already on the NAS, and it literally takes less than 15 minutes to do this, and before you know it, you're pretty much up and running. It's a step-by-step wizard. You can see here we've got the Synology Assistant, and this just details and it allows you to interface with your NAS. So you've got the IP address, you've got various things like the MAC address, the version of DSM, which is a 4.3, that's the latest up until November 2013, and we've got the model of the NAS, which is a DS214. So if I right click on that, if I go to connect, this launches my browser, and I just need to put in my username and password. And this launches us into the operating system. As you can see here, we have the desktop environment. On the right hand side here we have got this dashboard system, which gives various different menus which you can actually tweak and customize yourself. but the ones that are already by default, we've got the system health, which is saying that it's good at the moment, but you do need to keep an eye on that. It does alert you if there is any problems with the hard drive playing up or anything like that, and it gives us our uptime here. Now the resource monitor details the percentage for the CPU and the RAM, so you can keep an eye on that, and the file transfers. Recent logs, we've got current connections, so you can keep an eye on who's actually logged into the unit. And like I said, you can click these, you can change them into just exactly what you want. So you can completely customize that to how that looks. So as we go into the top left corner there, we've got the button, which is a bit like the start button in Windows. This gives us a menu system. You can actually restart and shut down there, but the thing that we want to go into is the control panel. So there you can see our control panel. There is an awful lot of settings in there, and this really allows you to completely customize the complete system, your operating system, and all the functionality for it. I'll just go into a few things. I'm not going to cover everything because we would be here for hours. So just having a look at the DSM update here. This basically checks, you can see that it was checking at the latest version. It says there that my DSM is up to date. So that's a nice little handy feature to have, and you can actually automate that. So you can make sure that it checks and downloads regularly so that you're right up to date and you don't miss out on that. So that's a really nice little feature to have inbuilt inside the operating system. Okay, and the DSM settings, we can actually customize the background, the login screen. You can drop in a logo, your background, and all the different things that you perhaps want to tweak. If this is for a business sort of setup, you've got various different users, then it might be something that you want to do. There's various different things you can do there as well with security, timeouts, automatic timeouts, and things like that. Certificates. Okay, we're going to jump out of the control panel now. If I close that off, and we're going to take a look at the package center. Now there is an icon on the desktop there, but you can also access it from that start. If you go into the package center, this is basically your software. So you can attach, if you go to the all there, you can basically have access to all of these different software packages. Some of them you might well know, WordPress, that's a very popular one, and different things, Surveillance Station. And we're just going to take a look at a couple of examples which perhaps might take interest. First of all, the Cloud Station. If I just click install there, you can see there that downloads and it's installing. Doesn't take very long at all, this. You can see it's automatically dropped down that menu. We can click to go inside this. Now, as you can well imagine, the Cloud Station basically allows you to sync all your files directly to the NAS. So we've got this enabled at the moment, so we've got this active at the moment, so it's syncing, and you can obviously have certain privileges, certain groups, and you can tweak those. You've got the sharing there, different file types, different specifications for the actual file types. We've got the client list, and of course the recycle bin. If anyone deletes any files, then obviously this is going to go into here. You can check those out. Perhaps you can recover stuff for people if they need to recover certain data, and you can obviously empty that as well. Okay, so we'll close that down, and we're now going to take a look at the video station, which is just further down here. If I click on the install, again that downloads and it installs. This one takes a bit longer than the Cloud Station, a little bit more complex, bigger file types. Just omit that. Okay, so that's finished installing. If I go to the video station, now this works in conjunction with the actual access within Windows. So if I open my video area, which is a designated folder on the disk station called video, so I can actually drop in a video here like this. If I go to copy, okay, our file is now transferred and we can go into the video station and it appears there. Now the beauty with this is you can pick up your smartphone, we're using Android here, and we can go to the Play Store and we can download DS Video Station and we can actually play that video clip. Right guys, well that's the end of our look at the Synology DS214 and the 414. And although we haven't been able to look at every intricate detail inside that DSM operating system, what we have looked at should have given you a bit of a flavour for what to expect if you invest in a Synology NAS. Some of the aspects that we perhaps could have gone into, setting up RAID arrays, configuring user groups, setting up that surveillance station for security purposes. You know, the list goes on and on. There's so many things that you can do with these units. And like I said earlier, we've been reviewing Synology kit over on Vortez.net for a number of years now. I've been personally using it and it always comes highly recommended. It really is great kit. Now in terms of your pricing, we've actually only got the UK prices at this stage. For the DS214, that's the 2-bay NAS, the smaller one, we're looking at around £215, that's the cheapest price at the moment. And then the bigger one, the 414, which is the 4-bay NAS, you're looking at around £350. So, you know, bearing everything in mind, it actually isn't too bad, you know, considering just how powerful these are and how flexible they are. Now, if you're looking at the full review, if you're wanting to check that out, then there will be a link in the description for you just below. And that will detail a little bit more in terms of the specifications if you want to take a look at that. So that's pretty much it for me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, make sure you hit that like button. And if this is the first time that you've actually stumbled across our videos, we would appreciate if you could subscribe to the channel. Take care, and I'll see you very soon.